Xbox got caught lying by the FTC. And you're probably wondering, what'd they lie about? And in general, a lot of things, but the main thing the FTC is accusing them of lying about is Game Pass. So remember when Xbox was desperate to acquire Activision Blizzard? So to get that deal to go through, Xbox made a bunch of concessions to the FTC. They couldn't lay people off, which they did, and they also couldn't raise Game Pass prices, which they also did, as you may be aware. And honestly, I can't believe anybody took their reasoning as to why they wouldn't raise prices. Xbox basically said, we're rich, we can do it forever. Which we all knew was never gonna happen. Like, there was no way in the world they were ever gonna have Game Pass prices stay the same. That was never gonna happen. It's not a profitable business model at all.
Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and yes, here is your first dose of the Salty Batch files for the week. And of course, we have a lot to go over on this one, so I'm gonna try and move this one along a little quicker than normal because there's just so much salt going around that we have to get through it because it's not stopping. The salt mine are flooding at this point, so to speak. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I was saying, what we're going to do is jump right to the salt, but right before I do, just a quick mention, I do love the fact that these videos are based off of pure facts, pure posts. I don't make anybody make these posts. This is just examples. This is what the theme of it is. It's what it is. So for those that have the comments in the sections that are all upset about it and everything like that, maybe talk to the folks that are making these asinine posts and then go from there. I'm just reporting on the facts and giving you the examples. So that being said, let's start with our first delusional take here. Of course, Risk It's back. Open up those busted can of biscuits right here. Risk it for the biscuit. He has stating, delaying Avowed because there's too many games releasing on Xbox is a huge net positive for Xbox gamers. Whoa! That is some real cult mentality right there when you're trying to not only fool yourself, but fool your fan base, fool your followers, fool whoever you want to, or you're just being fooled by the car salesman himself, Phil Spencer. They're delaying Avowed, folks, ladies and gentlemen, everybody, because there's just too many games on Xbox. You don't need a new game. If you've been looking forward to Avowed, you don't need it. There's too many games. Just calm down, first of all, and just play what you already have because there's just too much there. So we just want to, as Xbox, we just want to make sure we give you enough time to finish those games. So you're welcome. That's why it's that's why it's delayed. So like, what is this? This is asinine. This is why nobody takes people like that seriously, and why people like him and under that community get upset at people like myself by stating the obvious facts of non-delusion. You see the example here. Do you see how stupid that is? It's crazy. Like I said, I have a lot of examples, so we're going to move through here so we don't make this 20 hours long for y'all. But let's go to the next one here. Madness, Madness, and Stupidity states, hi, this is a problem. This is in regards to, this is in regards to Phantom Blade Zero. So basically what's going on is per Brazilian outlet, developers question a developer on Phantom Blade Zero at China Joy 2024 and asked for Xbox port, and Xbox port replied nobody needs that platform. Don't see the need to bring their games to Xbox, and so on and so forth. Well, there's a reason for that, but at the bottom, Jez, being the classy individual that he is, by the way, just a stand-up guy, one asshole dev is a problem? Nah. So the guy's an asshole because he states a fact. Xbox is doing it to themselves. You guys have been conditioned to rent the games and not buy games, so why is it a priority to put their games on a system where it's not going to sell unless they get some sort of upfront money from Game Pass? Make it make sense. There's very far and few between games that are just going to sell well enough on their own, and that would be Grand Theft Auto 6 and probably Elden Ring and maybe a couple others, or a few others. Phantom Blade Zero, being a brand new IP, as good as it looks, as anticipated as it seems to be, is not guaranteeing a sale, but yes, Jez, he's an asshole for speaking the truth. Unlike you for spreading misinformation all the time, you're the class act and stand-up guy. Really, you are. Let's continue. Cool. So continuing on, Cold Eastwood, of course, has to chime in on all the Phantom Blade Zero controversy here. So Phantom Blade Zero, anonymous dev, said about their game skipping Xbox, nobody needs the platform. The console's not popular in Asia. Again, it's true. I mean, you don't even need the platform. You can stream stuff, right? So it's hard to justify putting time and resources into that, especially for them. Microsoft has created a very overloaded ecosystem in which it is difficult to develop games for. Again, that is factual. If you are debating that's not facts, you need to look into this a little further because that is 100% factual. It just is. Regardless, fanboyism aside, that's just the facts. Underneath there, Majin King. What are your thoughts on the statement made by the dev, Cold Eastwood, or are you saying it for XNC? I personally feel they are biased and lazy. They praise PlayStation for helping them in development as if Xbox doesn't offer the same services. I'm just really disappointed with that statement, especially coming out hearing that Microsoft has 500 million MAUs across their platforms, meaning multiple monthly active users, right? So they're upset, so they feed into it. So folks like Jez and Risk It and Cult and everybody, right, that we go over on this channel, they help feed this mentality. They come to them crying and whining and like, hey, what's your thoughts and opinions on this? Because this is lazy. It's not lazy. They just stated the facts. If you look into it, those are the facts. This isn't some sort of make-believe world. I don't know where these folks are getting that Xbox is an underdog just because everybody's picking on them, or the multitude of asinine reasons I've been seeing lately, which I don't know if I have the example of today, but they're also trying to spout racism towards that, which is absurd. Absolutely absurd. But as you can see, like-minded individuals flock to the same feather. Now, just a quick example on top of that here, and so I'm like almost out of breath because it's just like so crazy. At this point, they're so salty and so upset and so delusional that it just takes everything out of you as an individual if you read that stuff. If you are an individual that has any common sense whatsoever, it takes and drains energy just reading that. Not only do you lose brain cells, but you lose energy too. That being said, so quick example here for Hellblade 2, a first-party IP that is a known IP for many years at this point. Nearly 90% of Hellblade 2 Xbox players have not completed its story. It's a very short game. A very short game that is available day one on Game Pass. There's absolutely zero reason, if the community is so strong and looking for those types of games, and Game Pass is so great, and the value is there, and the games like this, and I understand everybody doesn't like every certain genre of game, 100%. It's not going to sell Madden or FIFA numbers, right, or COD numbers. Not stating that, but it should be doing well. And the fact that most players are not even playing through it tells you the kind of ecosystem that it has. It tells you the player base on what their interests are. And that's not saying you're a bad person or a bad gamer because your interests do not lie with Hellblade. But it just speaks to the facts that the ecosystem is built towards a certain audience. And it's not going to be as successful in a lot of different genres. Again, embarking back to the Phantom Blade Zero scenario, right? This is just another example. It would not flourish as well as the player base, some of the player base would think it would. So look into the facts and set those expectations. Just stating. So, okay, let's keep going here. Like I said, we have a bunch here. Cold Eastwood. So now he has to flub it up. Now remember, Cold Eastwood, like I mentioned in past videos, he primarily plays on PC, but got to make that buck, and supposedly plays on PC. But here we got the Xbox here. Xbox Series is probably the most powerful, advanced, flexible, and feature-rich console ever made. Xbox needs to market it globally and work harder to push this amazing tech to devs and players everywhere. No excuses. Wow. Wow. So now there's no excuses. Now you want them to stand behind it. Is it because your content runs dry? Because you're so full of shilling up your audience and fan base? Is that the reason why? But I do like the response here, by the way. Versastyle, right? I just bought the new Xbox Series FS Max. You forgot about this one. And he's referring to the Fire Stick TV. Exactly. Exactly. The focus is clearly Game Pass, and Colt, you flip-flopped way too much. You might have had some sort of leg to stand on if you were, seriously, you being a mouthpiece for the company, if you would have stayed behind that and drove home the ability and drove home to the fan base that they do need to buy these console hardwares, the console hardware, and as well as the games, to buy them and not lean into Game Pass. You put all your chickens in one basket and look what happens. And now you're doubling back. Come on, guys, we got to market the Series X and S, and we got to get the games out there. Buy your hardware, buy your games. It's too late. You messed up. You have a responsibility with that kind of a following to not lie to your fan base and tell them, hey, if you like what we got here, it's great that you're, doing Game Pass as well, but please try to buy your games as well. Please try to help your family and friends purchase other hardware. You didn't do it because Game Pass is everywhere. It's fine. It's all about MAUs, right? It's all about that. It's fine. And here you are. It's too little, too late. Moral of the story there, buddy. So, just a quick, I'm going to actually skip that one. So, Destin here. I mean, a lot of these folks are coming to the realization, by the way, that the hardware has been down significantly for Xbox. It's not looking good this generation. The generation has been admittedly, and I'll show you some videos here, admittedly lost. But for example, Destin, just a reminder, since my take from Unlocked is making the rounds, you can like Xbox and like the console and still admit that another quarter with a 42% decline in hardware sales year over year is bad. I love the Series X, but at this rate, I'm wondering if it'll even match the X1. It won't. Hands down, it will not. The only hope it has is if GTA 6 helps push the Series S and X. That's the only way I can see that matching, but even then it's far-fetched at this point. But as you can see down there, there's a couple examples highlighting, what the combined sales of and so on and so forth. But just an example. But even Destin is understandably, and he's a victim of himself, right? He's done the same thing as Colt. It's fine. They're doing great. I'm excited. This year is going to be Xbox's year. No, wait, next year is going to be Xbox's year. No, it's all about Game Pass. It's all about MAUs. The same story, different dance, right? So what do they expect? What do they expect? Let's keep going here. Colt Eastwood. Just, shill for a shill with Gaz here, of course. So Bungie was a far better off with Xbox and even Activision. PlayStation's purchase was a mistake. Gaz breaks it down. Send him a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Gaz. Belated. You think Bungie would be better off with Xbox when they can't even manage ZeniMax and they can't even manage ABK as it is, and shit's all over the place. But yes, Colt, again, keep lying to the fan base. And yes, Gaz is breaking it down, and yes, Bungie pulled one over on Sony. And yes, it's not as good of a deal as everyone thought it would be. But I don't think this is the end of the story. There is a contingency where it does get folded into the PlayStation brand. Bungie does. So it's not the end of the road for it. We don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, this is clearly a hiccup. No, it doesn't look good. I'm not going to lie to you guys and say, oh, it was a fantastic purchase. It was great. It was phenomenal. It's, just wait until, I don't know. We do have to wait till the end of the road to see what happens from it. There's been some absolving. There's been unfortunate layoffs. Stuff did not go good there. But I'm not going to sit there and do what Colt does and say, if ZeniMax and ABK was under PlayStation, it would be better when they were failing or not doing as well as they could under Xbox. We don't know that. PlayStation's pedigree speaks otherwise, for sure, but I'm not going to sit there and lie, especially if the shoe was the other foot, where PlayStation is fumbling and mismanaging its studios, and then you're going to say that they have the ability to get other ones? No, I don't think so. And then, of course, we're talking about a quick example. Now, Nico, as you can see partially in the screenshot here, what he's referring to is Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and it's been supposedly review bombed, which I'll explain why here, and it's down to 2 stars out of 5. Colt Eastwood, they spend more time on Xbox storefront than playing on PlayStation. Again, another dig. So he's upset, but as you can see from Detective Seeds, and I'll go over this too, but Colt, come on, bro. If you guys went over your Xbox and looked, these are old reviews from Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. Again, facts there. So good job, Detective. They use the same COD HQ review hub. Come on, dog. You can't hate PlayStation that much. Well, Detective, he does. It's evident. It's clear. He has a PlayStation 5. He barely touches it. He plays like 1% of any PlayStation first-party IP. That's a whole nother story. That being said as well, but they all run with this. They all run with it. So let's say it wasn't for Modern Warfare 2 and 3. So the scenario then from Nico and Colt is that every PlayStation user hates Xbox so much that they went out and bought an Xbox Series S or X just to review bomb Black Ops 6. Do you see how delusional and cult-like this mentality is and why they're in the hole they're in? Oh my gosh, okay. So, last example, folks, and I wanted to get to the videos here, but I don't think we have time. I'll probably have to put that in the additional video. They are good. They're short but good, but I want to give an example here to wrap this video up so it's not too long for y'all. I tried to get through as much as I could, as quick as I could. But Goat Gaming here. I'm going to give two examples here. We're going to do side by side, right? These are obviously, before I do, fake, not correct, and I'll go over this. But breaking PS5 Pro details were leaked by GameStop employees on Reddit with a price of $8.99 for digital and $9.49 with attached disc drive. PlayStation has been losing money on console sales. We are at Circana, new data. Xbox decided to keep their prices relatively cheap. Complete malarkey. Nobody knows anything about the PS5 Pro yet. The only harder leaked latest information is that it's supposed to be 100 times faster, 100% faster anyways, than the PS5, and some sort of an additional super sampling, if you will, as well. That's the only more official leaked information we have on the PS5 Pro at this time. So everything else is incorrect. We don't know if there's a digital and physical. We don't know what that looks like. We definitely don't know the prices. We don't know this, that, and the other. So completely fake. And as you can see on the other one here as well, trending PlayStation Q1 financials, which did release at the time of this recording, are out, and Sony Group is not happy with Herman Hulst, according to Insider. Revenue down 22%, hardware sales down 27%, on and on and on, right? The fake PS5 and Pro pricing, PS Plus memberships down, USB console, I mean, all this nonsense, right? So clearly it's all trolling in a way, and it's upsetting to them, whatever the case is, but this is all fake, right? But you see this, again, as I mentioned with GOAT before, for casuals out there, those that don't even know GOAT, even if you're not a casual, might think this is true, and you're looking in there wasting your time, looking things up. You may not get the answers you're looking for, so you might lean towards that stuff being true, but it's not. So not only does he continue to do this stuff, why? Because he's salty. He's upset at how it's 42% down on the hardware sales for Xbox, how this generation is basically lost. The list goes on and on. But not only on top of that, folks, we also have other Xbox salty fanboys that back this up. Oh, it's just funny. Oh, it's just this, that, and the other. It's not like there's a point where it can be funny or a little bit trolly and whatever, but it's non-stop. This does more harm than good. And in the end of the day, at the end of the day, if they had a brain cell in their heads whatsoever, they have to understand, they need to understand at the very least, that this kind of misinformation, I didn't know which word I was going to go for there, but misinformation that's being spread like that, and then they found out to be lies by whoever and whenever, that does more harm to the brand in the long run. So they continually set themselves up for failure. I would 100%, if somebody was doing this on the PlayStation side, Nintendo side, whatever the case is, even if it's a business thing or whatever, man, as a fan, you need to have them stop. You need to call them out on it, because all tricks and fun aside, this damages the brand that you supposedly like and want more of. It's going to damage the quality. It's going to damage the funds. It's going to damage the fan base. It's going to damage the PR and reputation. I can make a 50-point bullet list of how it negatively would affect Xbox as a brand. Now, if you did get to this point in the video, you did see all that, and you are a hater, and you think GOAT's not doing anything wrong, those are the facts. If you want to let him continue to do so, it's going to continue to harm in every way that I just mentioned before, and then some. Just keep that in mind. Those are the facts. This isn't me being upset about it because I know it's all false. I don't care. But you, as Xbox fans, or if you care about anything Xbox at all, you should care. Simple. That being said, I'll wrap up the video here. Still was long getting through all those examples. Look forward to the next video where I can share those other videos with you because they are great examples. That being said, thank you all so much for your support. At this time in the video, we might be hitting that 2,000 subscriber goal. We're getting so close, so thank you guys so much. It blows my mind. You're all super amazing, so thank you so much for the kind words and support. You are all truly amazing and help push me to do what I do. So thank you again. Every like and comment does help out the algorithm, of course, and I would love to hear from you down below. And that being said, if you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing to help out a small content creator like myself, and we can continue these videos and share the facts and be honest with everybody. So enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and just remember, don't be a salty badge. And we'll see you all next time on the next Xvault gaming video. And until then, take care.